Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's February 11th, 2019. I'm out in the South Shop right now. I had been working previously on getting this panel, this partition here behind me set for installing the plywood. That means getting all the studding on top of the insulation. That's a thermal barrier here on to the heat loss from that north shop. And therefore what I've been doing is pulling all of the wires that ran in the 2x6 studded walls that ran all the way up to the other end of that lower shop above up there, behind me rather. It ran to a 220 volt, 200 amp service panel. And what I decided to do was to extend two more sub panels, one on this wall, right where the wires are coming out here, and one on just the other side of this wall in the lower shop, so that I could meet the needs of all the electrical needs in the future. Also, that meant pulling all of the wires, everything but the security cables, pulling out all the networking cables, all the surveillance cables, all of the power cables to the welders, plasma cutters, all that stuff, pulled all that stuff out of the floor joists, because what I originally did was I ran the wire from the main panel all the way back here into the south side of the south shop, almost 100 feet. So I'm modifying the whole situation. This makes it so that we're not going to have as much of a drop in power going to the motors of the various pieces of equipment back here. And it also means shorter distance of the wires that I'm going to have to run them, and less violations of the insulation that insulates the walls. So it can be much more energy efficient as well. So over the last week, well, more than a week now, last couple of weeks, I've been pulling all that wiring out of the floor joists, which are in the ceiling part back there in the lower joists, and all of the wires that were within these walls. Pulled them out, ran those wires all the way over to where this sub panel will be going. Now, before I finish this whole area, I'm actually working on the other side of this partition wall, right over in here. And so this wall here between the studs, I already have 4.5 inches of the polyisocyanurate there. I have to finish doing this side as well yet. And one of the things I've been working on is getting the insulation above. So above that top plate sits floor joists, 2x8 floor joists. And that's a 2x8 floor joist, 2x8 kiln dried timber is actually 1.5 by 7.25 inches. So I've been cutting the polyisocyanurate down to 7.25 inches tall, and I'm putting 3 pieces thick, staggering the seams, so that I'm having as much insulation there as well, because it doesn't pay just to have the insulation below that wall and above that, above the floor and below the floor, but right through that 8-inch depth or 7.25 inch depth. If there isn't adequate insulation there, there's a good place to lose energy, lose the heat from this building. So that meant pulling out all the wires so I can start getting that insulation up in there. I've had some breaks where I've had to work on equipment. The washing machine, I had to rebuild that. That took longer than expected, and we had some big snowfall, so I've been working on that. So what's going to show in this video is there probably will be some rerouting of some of the wiring that I've been doing, cutting some of the insulation, fitting it up in here. Once I get all the insulation up above the floor joist, which won't be in today's video, and filling the rest of the studs over here, then I can put another 1.5 inch thickness layer of polyisocyanurate, another layer of insulation, then start putting the 2x3s up against there, running the wires, getting the plywood set, and then I can mount the sub panel on this side, mount the sub panel on the other side, and get some of this wiring hooked up as well. So just showing you the steps that I go through there. It does take a long time. It's cold weather, And we have weather events that I have to deal with from time to time. So there'll be some GoPro footage following my little introduction here, some music. And if you thought this video was valuable, please give us a thumbs up, ask any questions, leave comments. And if you found this video of value, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't subscribed yet, and hit the bell icon if you want to be notified when we post more videos. Thanks so much for watching, folks. Really appreciate it. Have a great day. Stay warm. Bye-bye now.